Hello, everybody. This is Ronnie Mincey. Thank you for tuning in to this segment of Uniquely Union, a series of interviews with the great Union County people that have made our county the fine place it is to live today. I'm excited to introduce you to this evening's guest, Miss Bonnie Heiskell Peters, Union County historian, local artist, and writer. And Miss Bonnie, you're one of my favorite people. And I'm
Thank you.
thrilled to have this opportunity to interview you. Lots of people probably don't know that Union County even has a county historian, and certainly probably don't know that you are the historian. So if you could tell us exactly what that role is and how that you came to fill that position.
Okay. I was a student of Winnie Palmer McDonald, who was the former county historian. And she was, in her 80s, I guess, when they did the first two books. And she kind of had her eye on me for replacing her. And she got pneumonia. And she decided that it was time for her to hang it up. And she went to the county commission and talked to each one of them. And the next thing I knew, I was county historian.
Now, it is
in
part of
March of 1994.
Okay. It is state law that each county in Tennessee has to have a county historian.
They do.
Yes.
And what I have sort of done is write my own job description. I started out with collecting information for the books. Winnie did not type, and she wasn't a computer literate, I guess you'd say. So I did the typing and collecting the information for the books. And we did 3 hardback books. This is one of them. This is the second one, School Day Memories. This is the first one we did in 1994. And over there is Faces of War. So anyway, we did that. And then I was asked to write for the paper. And of course, just being a glutton for punishment, I said yes.
And which paper was that?
That was the Shopper, and I was wrote for it for 20 years. And Gannett bought the paper, and I decided it was time to hang it up. So I did tales and more tales after they closed that down, and that gave me more time to write, I guess.
And you're still writing today?
Still writing.
What's your latest project?
Well, I had these long pictures of CCCs, and I have a book that's pretty well finished on the CCCs of Union County. And the only way I know to do is to have the pictures folded, because their pictures wouldn't be as big as your head of a pin if we don't do it. I think they're 4 feet long. And so anyway, I'm going to have the pictures folded so you can take them out, get it out.
And I also remember you wrote a publication on the Mark Monroe House. Tell us a little bit about the Mark Monroe House and that publication.
Okay. My husband's great-grandfather, I guess, was Mark Monroe. And his grandmother was Maud Monroe Hubbs. And we were always interested in the Monroe genealogy. And I kept looking at the book or the log corn crib was in the corner of a barn. And people were living upstairs. They had a couch and I don't know what all up there. And I just couldn't stand it. And so I numbered the logs, and I got L.D. Monroe to haul the logs down to the school property site. And Sam helped me write the book. And Heiskell to put the, I don't know what you take, the lift up the roof to put the thing on it. And Jeff Faust, I bought the shingles, and Jeff Faust put them on the thing, and that was about it, I guess. So anyway, I felt like that project needed to be recorded, and so I wrote the book.
And most of your books are still in print and available.
Yes, they are.
Where can people purchase those books if they'd like to have a copy?
Okay, they can purchase them at Okies in Maynardville, at Okies in Blaine. They can purchase them at the museum. They can purchase them at Union Avenue Books, at the Museum of East Tennessee gift shop, or they can call me at home.
Okay. And what is your phone number for them to call you at home?
Okay, it's 865-687-3842.
I think I have a copy of every one of your books.
You do?
I'm pretty sure I do. I watch for anyone that comes out new.
And I wanted to say on this one too, this is the second edition of Heiskell Genealogy, and I am out of the third copy, and I'm going to have some printed, but I have plenty of the second edition, but I don't have the third one right on hand right now. This is Tales from the Hills and Hollows of East Tennessee, and it is a combination of the articles that I wrote for the paper, and it has lots of good information in it. And it has the schoolhouse. It has a Spanky. For those of you who don't know, it's Gerald Beeler. And I had a call from Strawberry Plains, Bobby Fields, and said, "Oh, they brought me a copy of the book," and he talked about Spanky and so on. And it has Mike Williams, just lots of things. And then this one is More Tales from the Hills and Hollows of East Tennessee. And Sherry did the drawing of the picture. I'll see, maybe that'll help. So anyway, I just get everybody working for me.
And speaking of this cover, for those that may not know who Sherry is.
Oh, Sherry is my daughter, Sherry Hensley. And she was a guidance counselor, but she has retired now.
Okay. Not only are you the Union County historian, not only are you a prolific writer, you're also an artist.
Yes, Betty Bullen taught an art class at Hall Senior Center, and I was taken in. And I really enjoy it a whole lot. Betty is a wonderful artist, and she really is very good.
Mm-hmm. What's the favorite thing that you've had the opportunity to paint yourself?
Well, I did my grandma recently, and my cousin, Susan Motley, is going to do a book on her, and I sent her a copy of it, and she said, "Oh, it looks like a book cover to me."
Now, I knew your brother, J.P. Heiskell, many years before I knew you.
Yes.
J.P. was the music leader at what's now the First Baptist of Minorville. Back then it was Minorville Baptist when I was a very young child.
Yeah.
And many's the time that he would visit the church later on after he was no longer the music leader. And everybody always thought that he and his wife Vera looked like movie stars.
Yeah.
And they did. They were very good dressers. They dressed to the nines all the time. Tell us a little bit about JP and your family history.
Well, JP could just do anything. He was a welder, and in the World War II, he was on an LST, and apparently they didn't have a lot to do other than, I guess, occasional fix-it kind of things. and he started making things, and he had learned welding at Alcoa, and he uh, he had a welding machine at our house, and people came and got him to weld things. And he was a bird hunter, and he loved to hunt birds. And he would come in with his coat just stuffed full of quail. And we would clean those and fix them, and it was really good. And he was on the Heartland series. And one of the stories that I remember them telling me was when the fella came in, he was hungry. He had been out hunting, I don't know how long. But anyway, Vera had made a cake, and she had some leftover frosting, and she put on crackers, and he ate the whole thing.
Oh, he quenched his appetite, didn't he, so to speak?
Right.
You have also been involved in the restoration of the old Oak Grove School, Sharps Chapel.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was a trip. Robert Ellison came to me and said he hated to see it go, and it was in bad shape. And he asked me if I would do what I could to get it going. And I went to County Commission and asked them, not for money, but for permission to start the restoration. And we just, I just got a group of people ready, people that just everybody that I knew, I just asked. And so finally we got 12 or 15 people together. And today it is restored. We don't have a kitchen yet, but we maybe are close. And they have music there on Wednesday. They have the, is it called a book station?
I believe it is.
Book station that's there. I think they are open most days. And it's open to the community if they want to have a party or whatever. And it's a wonderful thing.
How many years did it take from start to finish to see that restoration through?
I think 7.
It was a slow, painstaking process,
yes.
But it is beautiful. For people that have not seen it, it is a beautiful restoration.
But at one time, about 3 years ago, or maybe 4 years ago, they were asking at the TVA retirees Christmas party for people who had projects. And I was the first to hold up my hand. And we did get some help from TVA retirees.
Mm-hmm. So what does the future hold for Miss Bonnie Heiskell Peters?
Well, I hope to do the CCC book. And I hope to continue to paint and just here and there.
And while your life is exciting now, you did have a public life before retirement, formal retirement from the workforce. So tell us a little bit about what you did in your working years, where you worked and...
Okay, I did a lot of things. I started to work in the Division of Law. And I decided that while I learned a lot about law, I decided I didn't want to make my career out of that. So I moved to the general manager's office, and I had various promotions and things that happened through the years. And one of the things, I wrote policy. And I did lots of letters for the board. And then I had the opportunity to be manager of the suggestion program, and I did that. And finally, when, I can't think of his name. I can see him, but can't think of his name. But anyway, he decided to X out the suggestion program, and I went to the electrical part of engineering where I learned all my computer skills, and that prepared me to do the book writing.
It's amazing how things work themselves back around,
Yeah.
isn't it? Now, you were born in Union County.
I was born on April 1, and I had a lot of jokes about that. On April 1, 1935, on a Thursday, and I had all my schooling here, and I decided that I wanted to have some additional credit, and I went to Strayer College in Washington, and then I finished at UT.
Mhm. Even though you do not presently live in Union County, and even though your working life was spent outside of Union County, you've always kept in touch with the county.
Yes, yes.
Thinking back, who have some of your most inspirational or favorite Union Countyans been that you have studied under, taught with, whatever the case may be?
Well, of course, Dave Myers was a favorite.
Mm.
And Miss Jessie, I was scared to death in trying out for Glee Club, but she saw me through it, and I enjoyed that. Oh, and Miss Hobble was just wonderful. She was just a favorite. You could just listen to her. You just still to get her talking about English history.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that was her favorite.
Yes, that's right. That was her favorite.
She was, of course, the history teacher at Union County, or it was Horace Maynard High School back then.
Right.
Many years. And Miss Jessie you referred to, that was Miss Jessie Buckner.
Yes, that's right.
English teacher for many years. Anybody else that made a lasting impression on you?
Oh gosh, I feel like I am the 12th child, and I feel like that I have 11 teachers. All of my brothers and sisters, I learned something from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they all had, if I would get off on something and they'd say, oh no, you don't do that, you do this and that fixed it.
What at present would you say that Union County's greatest asset is?
It's people.
In what respect?
Well, they're hard workers, and they will help you do anything. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of money in Union County. Now, they may carry it in their overall pocket, but they're not poor.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, if you could come back 50 years from now, which I doubt any of us will, but if we could, what do you think Union County will be like in 50 years as compared to what it is now?
Well, I think one thing that may come to pass is there may be a joining of counties. We have 95 counties now, but with things going up the way they are, there may be a reapportionment. So I don't know, that might be one thing. I would hope we would have a huge history center in Union County.
Mm-hmm. You are a member, I'm sure, of several organizations.
Yes.
Tell us about some of those organizations and your role in them.
Well, yesterday I spent in Knoxville at Records Commission, and we are starting the work on preparing job descriptions for everybody who does IT kind of work. And I'm also a member of the Union County Records Commission. I started the library. I started the Cemeteries Association. I never will forget, Ralph Monroe is a wonderful person. But anyway, he was so excited, and I drafted the letter that went from the mayor. And so anyway, he said, I got this letter from the mayor, and he wants me to be a member of the Cemeteries Association. And I said, yes. And so anyway, he was Carr Cemetery. He was his baby, I guess you'd say. and he was really excited about that. And I think that that is one of the most progressive organizations that I've belonged to. They've cataloged the cemeteries. They are now there's they worked on law on getting try to get help for cemeteries across the state, and it's happening. It's just gradual, but it does happen.
And you're also a member of Preservation Union County.
Preservation Union County, and that is a wonderful thing. We're getting signs put up, historic signs, and we've gotten a lot of things done. We have generally have a fundraiser around Valentine's Day, but I think it may be St. Patrick's Day this time. It's too close to Christmas and too much rain, I think, this year. I've been a regional member of Child Welfare League of America. I was president of Florence Crittenden Agency for a number of years. I can't remember how many. And I was president of Inskip Lions Club for 14 years. So I've been busy.
So what advice would you give to people in Union County about how they can best help the county remain the great place it is, and how they can help preserve history and affect the future for the positive?
Well, belong to the Historical Society, to Preservation Union County. Continue your education, no matter how old you are. I still love to go to learning workshops and that sort of thing. So I think you're never too old to learn.
And you have also participated in the Hogskin Festival for several years.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the Hogskin Festival.
It is an interesting place. There's 500 acres. It was started by Bill Nichols, who was pastor of the Methodist Church at Halls. And there is a natural burying ground. There is a library. It's off the grid. They have a hose at the end of the gutters, which collects the leaves and that sort of thing. And they use the water for everything except drinking water. Mm-hmm. And they have washing machines that you turn the wringer and you turn the spinner thing. So you do that, and also when they go out to work in the morning, they have this metal kettle, or it's kind of like a wok, I guess you'd say. They put out in the sun, and it'll cook their food while they're at work that day. And they have some solar panels. They have ochre. Let's see, what is it? Yoga. They have learning exercise machines. They have just all kinds of things that are available to people at that part of the county, and it really is a help.
And almost a very well-kept secret, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
It really is. And in my mind, it's one of the kind of go back to nature maybe movements for our day and time,
yes, yes.
I would think. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us as we come to the end of our interview?
Well, goodness, I don't know. I'm really proud of the Alder Springs Church. It is beautiful. And I was there this fall and sold books. And I was just really surprised because I started, of course, there were not church every Sunday. You know, they have them every third Sunday or whatever. And the Alder Springs Church was just really probably held 100 people or something, I guess. But it's really nice now. And I'm sorry that they called Union County High School Union County instead of Horace Maynard High School.
I kind of have regrets over that myself, but
And I would like to think that if they have another high school, that they would name it Horace Maynard, and they would have people who are well equipped with money and resources to do great things.
mhm. I am proud, and I'm sure you are too, the fact that Horace Maynard's name has remained with the
Yes.
middle school, though, because he was a prominent part of Union County history.
Right.
Miss Bonnie, it's a pleasure, and it's just been a treat for me to have these few minutes to talk to you. Of course, I'm
Well,
going to
thank
steal
you.
me some more on my own, that won't be on camera, but that's okay. But you have been a true asset to Union County. You're one of the people. It's people like you, Miss Winnie McDonald, and others that have written about Union County. Most of what I know of Union County history that I've not lived myself is through those books. And if it hadn't been for those books, how much of that history would be gone that none of us would know about? And the beautiful thing about it is that long after we're all gone, those books will still be around to be passed down to future generations so that they can know.
That's right.
You have to know where you've come from to know where you need to go.
Mm-hmm. And I might say that my dad died when I was 9 years old. I think he had a massive stroke, and my mother raised me from the time that I was 9, and I give her a lot of credit.
Mm-hmm. Well, Miss Bonnie, it has been a pure pleasure. And we thank you all for tuning in to this segment of Unique Union Countyans. And please go to historicunioncounty.com and be on the lookout for future segments of this series. Thank you.